So we've got that to go through on the show. And I'm very much interested in what you think. There are many people that believe that CAF has now set a precedent, a really bad one, for what is a standard behavior for teams subsequently. If you feel like you're being cheated, you can just walk off. Once you have $615,000 in the bank, you should be just fine. Is that the real situation? Oh, this is the maximum CAF could have done. We'll go through some of their regulations as well and see just how much CAF were constrained by their own regulations in acting the way they did as far as this matter is concerned. So we've got that on the show as well. Champions League last round of matches in the group phase concluded on Wednesday. There have been quite the headlines from there, but I think for Ghanaian interest, there's been quite the headline from the Villarreal coach Marcelino and his thoughts on Thomas Partey. He says the pace of the game has gone past the Ghanaian. So how has that happened? I mean, just last year he was balling for Arsenal. So what's gone on there? And how does this affect him ahead of the World Cup? Or could he potentially be in danger of missing out on the World Cup place? I'm not sure. I don't know. Should he leave Villarreal? He's only signed a 1-year contract. And they had already indicated they would not be renewing his contract at the end of this season. But maybe it's time to cut his losses. I'm not sure. But we'll talk about that as well here on the show. Jose Mourinho rolled back the years, didn't he? Yeah, so there was plenty of drama on Wednesday night. So we've got that to cover on the show as well. Yeah, and I don't know if I Show Speed interests you, but yeah, I mean, that was something that's worth talking about, yeah? The visit to the Bukom Boxing Square, and the boxing coach's instructions are now trending, yeah? Coach, you got to give me some instructions. Left, right, dodge, huh? That's it. That's pretty much it. It's like, come on, coach, you got to do better than that. Anyway, the show is live and interactive on social media. We're streaming on YouTube. Just look for the Joy FM handle. We are also receiving messages, your thoughts on everything we'll be talking about here on the show. Also, welcome on 055. The number is right there. 055 1111997 055 1111997. And there's quite a number of other issues that we might touch on once we have a time for it, including whether Arsenal, because within the week there's been quite the conversation about Arsenal's style of football, where Paul Scholes going to the extent of saying that if Arsenal were to go on to win the league, they would be the worst team to ever win the Premier League title. But does it really matter how a title is won, though? I mean, I don't know. But anyway. So today, this afternoon on the show, I've been joined by a very special brother, very special friend. Of course, the regulars are here. I'm not going to talk about them. Atsu Tamakloe is here. Atsu, how you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm all right. Where's that skinny boy?
Somewhere, I have no idea, but he should be here any moment from now.
He does this all the freaking time. All the freaking time. Anyway, so Danny K is also here. And so is Miles Addy. Miles, how you doing, brother?
I'm great. Pleasure to be here.
Good to see you. Pleasure. Miles is a sports content creator, works with some of the biggest brands. Mike, let me not tell the people about you. Tell us a bit more about yourself. Obviously, your last name gives you away, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen your stuff on social. But tell us a bit more about who you are, how you ended up where you ended up, what you do, what you're doing in Ghana right now.
Yeah, I mean, it always surprises me when people say they've seen my stuff. It's just a bit of a dream, to be honest, but testament to the hard work we all do. My name is Miles. I am a Ghanaian born and raised in the UK, so very much have my UK ways about me. Yeah. But I've always felt a love for Ghana, for home, so I'm back very frequently. And doing what I do allows me to be sitting across from you very fine gentlemen. So I'm happy to be here. I'm a content creator. I create content in the football space for multiple brands around the world. And My most proud, I think, part of it all is covering Ghana at the whenever they're in a tournament. Yeah. I wanted to say African Cup of Nations, but
we weren't at the last.
We went there. I'm looking forward to the World Cup. We won't talk about the African Cup of Nations. It was sad for Ghana not to be there, but that's what I do, man. In a quick nutshell.
Yeah, I mean that's great. And some of the places where people have seen your stuff, at Bleacher Report, and you were at the AFCON for Bleacher.
Yes, I was. Covered the whole tournament. It was amazing from beginning to end. The ending was dramatic as can be. I didn't know what I was watching.
Yeah.
But was there for Bleacher Report and, managed to put out a lot of amazing fan content that I think the world hasn't seen yet, especially from African fans.
Wow.
I think there hasn't been a spotlight for the Western world to see just how passionate African fans are about their country. So that was a really special thing for me to do.
Absolutely. And, you're the right guy to be here for the kind of conversation we're going to have this because you saw it all unfold.
Oh, yes.
So, I mean, it'll be quite interesting. And I don't want to wait too much time, but just to remind all of you that that the show is proudly brought to you by Betway. Get way more. Western Union, send and receive money around the world. And I'll tell you a bit more about our sponsors a little later on the show. Of course, as I said, your thoughts on everything we'll be talking about here are welcome on the WhatsApp number 055 1111997. We're streaming on the Joy FM YouTube page. But listen, we're going to get right into it then. Atsu, listen, yesterday, I think someone said at dawn, it was almost as if CAF wanted everybody to be fast asleep before they made a decision or they made the decision public. So CAF finally came up with the ruling on what they made of that AFCON final where Senegal abandoned the game for close to 20 minutes before returning and then subsequently going on to win it. Of course, we know what happened in the aftermath, all the negative headlines. Even before we get into what CAF has said and whether it's commensurate with the actions of the various actors, Miles, you've been, obviously covering football for a bit now. You create content around football, and you have the Western perspective, so you deal with all these Western media partners. And, what was the reception like from around the world to the AFCON final? Obviously, it had been a great competition up until that moment, but did you get the sense from your partners that everybody just wanted to focus on just that bit?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's no secret that the Western world, I think, will do whatever it can to disparage our beloved African Cup of Nations, right? Yeah. And I think as soon as any drama unfolded, the Western world and media were quick to say, hey, this is the African football that you love. This is how it's ending. Such a great tournament up until, a bit of a bittersweet moment, depending on how you're looking at it. Yeah. So there are a lot of those stories floating around, and, people like myself who are covering it, with a positive African view are trying to now change narratives. But, me standing there, watching it unfold, I wasn't too upset with... I wasn't too upset with what happened. I didn't feel like,
Same as that gentleman beside you. It's like, this has to happen.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's like, it's so part of our DNA. Like, most Africans weren't too upset about what actually happened.
No.
It's so strange, the contracting...
Yeah.
The contrasting feeling.
Yeah.
Because elsewhere, everybody was like, this is unheard of. Like, this is sacrilegious. And the rest of Africa is just like, somebody had to do it.
This is normal. This is normal. I honestly, I didn't understand all the fuss that was made about it. I think if you are an African and you've been done wrong, then by all means, we will shut everything down until, it goes right. But then also, fair play to a lot of the African countries who felt they suffered at the hands of Morocco getting to the final. A lot of those countries also didn't do anything themselves. They didn't make much noise. It was Senegal who decided that from before the game, we're putting out this statement to say that we've been treated poorly in terms of our transport, in terms of our training, in terms of our hotel. So we're letting you guys know early that we feel something isn't right. And then when something that majority of people feel blatantly went against them, then they acted how I believe any team should have acted. I'm not condoning it, but I just say if I was on the pitch, I may have walked off as well, to be honest, with such an injustice.
So obviously Senegal, they say what? The end justifies the means, right? So they would feel justified by what they did. But there are still regulations that they needed to follow, and their actions clearly violated every single one of those. And so CAF Disciplinary Committee had to spring into action. There were many that called for several sanctions, including Morocco, who had petitioned CAF to strip Senegal of the title because, according to them, by abandoning the game in code, Senegal should have been deemed to have forfeited the match. So therefore, they are illegitimate winners of the AFCON. So CAF took all of that into consideration and then obviously came up with their sanctions. There's a 5-match ban, and there's 6 key stories from this that you must know. Number one is that the Senegal head coach, Pape Thiaw, has been handed a 5-match ban for CAF sanctioned games only. So it will not affect him at the World Cup or his ability to coach at the World Cup. He's also been fined $100,000. That's that for the Senegal coach. A 5-match ban and $100,000 dollar fine. The Senegal national team players, Ilman Ndiaye and Ismaila Sarr, they've also received 2 match bans for unsporting behavior towards the referee. We saw what Ismaila Sarr did. He was incessantly on the referee's face, so he dished out a yellow card for him. And then Ilman Ndiaye did the cash sign towards the referee, basically asking him how much were you paid for this. So he also gets a 2-match ban for that. No fine for those 2 players. But the Senegal Football Federation itself is also being fined a combined $615,000 for the behavior of 3 different entities. One, $300,000 for improper conduct of their supporters. $300,000 for the improper conduct. And we saw what their supporters did. Like a lot of them were punching security officers. It was quite chaotic over there. So they get a $300,000 fine for that. They also get a $300,000 fine for the unsporting conduct of their players and technical staff. So basically leaving the pitch and insulting the referee, what have you, all of that. That's another $300,000. And then there's a $15,000 fine for misconduct of 5 of his players for receiving yellow cards. But basically, so they fined them $15,000 because 5 of their players got yellow cards. So that's how they got the $615,000 fine. So $300,000 for the fan behavior, $300,000 for the players leaving the pitch, and then $15,000 because they got 5 yellow cards in the final. A $100,000 fine for the improper conduct of the national team players and technical staff for swarming the VAR area. That's what they did. And urging the referee to take the penalty. That's a $100,000 fine. They also get a $200,000 fine for the inappropriate behavior of the stadium ball boys. And this has me very confused. Are the ball boys not the responsibility of CAF, the organizers? I'm not sure. But they get a $200,000 fine for the behavior of the ball boys, basically wrestling players over towels. We know that story. And then they get another $15,000 fine for their fans using lasers to point at players. That's also another $15,000 fine. So in all, the Morocco Football Federation gets a $315,000 fine. That's it. Then they have 2 players that also got fines, bans and fines. Hakimi gets a 2-match ban. One of it is suspended for a year. The other one takes immediate effect. Only CAF sanctioned games. Then Saibari, Hakimi, we also saw why he threw away Mendy's towel. Saibari, the towel police, he gets a 3-match ban, and I'm sure you saw the video of him standing in front of the Senegal Sapchichi goalkeeper, trying to prevent him from tossing Mendy his towel. He gets a 3-match ban. None of it suspended. All of it will be served immediately. And he gets a $100,000 fine for his behavior. And we saw videos after that. He went to the hotel to apologize to Mendy. Yeah. But he still gets a $100,000 fine and a 3-match ban. This is all of it. This is all of it. and I've seen the commentary on social media. There are those that said, fair, this is fair. And there are those that said, this is scandalous. Because the precedence this has set is not great. Miles, I'll give you the first bite on this. What did you make of this?
It was crazy from start to finish. But if we're talking about the money that both of these nations are having to pay, it's obviously quite a lot, but I'm sure these federations can handle it. I think the interesting one is the fines for the towels. Who knew towels were so expensive in this day and age? Right? Who knew interfering with towels would be this expensive? So I don't know what to say about the money that is having to be dished out by these by their individual federations. I can't say whether I feel it's deserved or not. Obviously, something had to happen, but these are very
forget the money.
Yeah.
Let's deal with them one by one. Let's talk about Senegal for leaving the pitch the way they did in protest, and we understand that there had been a build-up of several incidents up until that happened, including what they believed was a legitimate goal, what have you. But they still walked off the pitch in clear violation of of the disciplinary code. They violated several things. Like, no matter what, you cannot leave the pitch in protest over a referee's decision. FIFA president said that himself, even while congratulating them. And you saw all the headlines like, this cannot happen. Ultimately, a question I have for you, do you think that the punishment that they received, which, as we now know, is a 5-match ban for the coach and a $650,000 fine for the team, is that deterrent enough to prevent this from happening? Because obviously we don't want a repeat of this.
Yeah.
So is this enough for any team to look at it and say, you know what, whatever happens in the next game, however we feel cheated, we must go on?
I definitely don't think it's enough, because at the end of the day, what you have is Senegal lifting the Africa Cup of Nations anyway. So what's happened is, they've walked off the pitch and decided that there is an injustice of some sort, and felt that even with that, we can still carry on this game and win the game, as they did. So they've won the game. So I think the sanctions don't matter. If the sanctions were to be removing the Africa Cup of Nations trophy from them, that win, then obviously that's the biggest sanction of them all, but also a pretty ridiculous one in my opinion. So I don't think what was done was enough. But then at the same time, I think Senegal probably needed to be heard if they felt that there was any corruption going on. I don't know how those hearings work, but that should have been the case as well, in my opinion. And then if it was found to be true that the Morocco or the Moroccan FA were paying money, taking money, whatever, then in that instance, I think you side with Senegal and remove their sanctions. But what can you do? Sanctions are sanctions, but I'm not sure these sanctions are going to do enough in terms of deterring anyone going forward. I think coaches, if they feel they've been hard done by, they will come. They will call their players to come off the pitch. The players will leave the pitch, and I'm not too mad at it, to be honest. If you feel you've been hard done by, what if I was a Senegalese fan and I'm watching what I feel is an injustice go on in front of my eyes? I want to see every player leave the pitch. It was only Sadio Mane, I think, he was trying to usher them back onto the pitch. So I'm not too mad at it, but I don't think the sanctions would deter anyone going forward, especially because Senegal lifted the trophy at the end of the day.
And that for me, like that's for me where the real issue is, because I think while everybody would feel, and especially if you're pro Senegal and you're Senegalese fan, you would feel that something had to happen. We can't just allow this to go on. My feeling is that it set a certain precedent that it's okay for you to do that, because after all, the punishment for that is a 5-match ban and $100,000 fine for the coach who asked the players to leave, and for the national team, it's a $300 fine, because if your fines don't misbehave, you don't get that extra $300. So it's $300,000 for the players leaving the pitch, and it's $100,000 for the coach and a 5-match ban for the coach. Now, while I understand why they did it, I think the precedents for the kind of punishment they've received now I think if CAF doesn't do anything about the regulations, and this is the standard going forward, it could cause a massive disruption. Actually, you don't think so?
No.
Why not?
I think sometimes when these things happen, we tend to exaggerate what has happened and the probability of this. You're not going to see in your lifetime another national team walking off the pitch. Teams have been cheated. We were cheated by Gambia in 2005. Yeah? And the painful part of that thing was that it was a Ghanaian who was at the receiving end of it. It was Fredo Samdodu's Gambia, his under-17 projects. The goal that determined that the final of that tournament, right before the ball crossed the line, a Gambian fan threw himself into the net, distracted the goalkeeper. We were told to shut up and continue playing. The game ended. We lost that trophy. Nobody... It is we Ghanaians and anyone who wants to be fair to the facts that will perhaps mention that asterisk that this was the circumstance. But we shut up and played. There's been so many instances. The Joseph Lamte game, South Africa, Senegal. There's been times where teams have been provoked beyond measure. In fact, this same referee, Jean-Jacques, the Alali Farabat game from 2021, Daniel, was it? CAF Champions 2022. There was an incident where the ball struck the thigh of a Farabat central defender. Referee blew for a penalty. He got called to go and check VAR because the arm was not remotely close to the ball. This same referee looked at the VAR and came back and was trying to explain to the defender how the ball struck the arm, even when it was not remotely close, with the benefits of VAR. That is extreme provocation. That was a situation where they didn't leave the pitch. They didn't leave it. So this is one of those situations where it spilled over, and then someone
mentioned Ghana 205 under 17, Ali, even. Why does Senegal have the right to do it, but we don't? We didn't do it, and we didn't die. Senegal could have. No, hold on. Senegal could have shut up and also lost this.
No,
but there's even no guarantee that if they didn't walk off, they would have lost. That's what I don't get. No. Because if Senegal stayed on the pitch and the penalty was awarded, Senegal stayed on the pitch, there was real probability that Brahim Diaz could still have missed.
Yeah,
and Senegal could still have gone on to win the cup, and there would be no negative headlines, there would be no indictment on the African game, and everything.
But you don't know that. All of that.
Yeah, we don't know that.
All of that are just ifs, buts, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
And that's not, and that's the more reason why they are not justified. That's what I'm saying, because what they did justifies nothing.
Look,
what does it justify?
In that situation, you can decide to flog Senegal all you want, but fundamentally, the bigger problem to look at is the officiating. What Senegal did, I don't support it, but I understand it. I will not sit here and say that every team that feels wronged by a referee, this is what you have to do. But I understand it. The officiating levels that we saw were unacceptably poor.
Not just in Senegal games, though.
Yeah,
right?
It was a significant departure from the highs that we had attained just 2 years ago in Cote d'Ivoire. And so, if you are CAF, yes, there is a matter to be addressed. There is an issue to look at. But you have to investigate why this time around the VAR took longer than it usually did. Because one of the high points from Cote d'Ivoire 2023 was that, unlike the Premier League, unlike the Champions League, we're seeing VAR being used in record time. It didn't take forever for the referees to quickly interpret that situation and make the right call. We're also seeing often the right call being made. So there was speed, there was accuracy. This time, we didn't see a lot of that. There were blatant situations of red cards that were ignored. So CAF needs to have a look at that. And maybe what you say about looking at the regulations and introducing stricter punishments. But I don't think it's a crisis situation where we are staring in the face of possible repetitions of that similar acts. On the sanctions...
go on.
On the sanctions itself, I largely agree with it. Just a few points of departure, because, for example, the towel gates or the towel incidents, if it was reprehensible in the final, then it should be reprehensible when it happened in the semi-final. So you punish them for both and not just the incidents, because it presupposes that you are only punishing them because that's in the storm of the whole walk-off and the stampede in the stands thing. You feel compelled to punish it. But that is a behavior that I would not want to see at another AFCON or any game for that matter. So I thought if you agree that it has to be punished.
So basically what you're referring to is that we also
the
saw
Nigeria
goalkeeper's towel being taken.
Repeatedly.
By
and all of
ball boys.
Yes, repeatedly and all of that. So if it was wrong in the final, it also has to be punished in the Saibari thing. Look.
The crazy thing is that towel incidents are not captured in the regulation. I don't think anyone saw this coming at any point.
It's
misbehavior.
Yeah, but
it's
it is how societies grow.
Yeah.
So going forward, and that's where your point about tightening the regulations comes in. You need to find a way to introduce new regulation that envelopes this kind of behavior. Because outside of the towel thing, there are those who could even argue that where Saibari was standing and where he was standing, he technically was not breaking any rule. If you go by the very letter of the law. But if you also go by the spirit of the law, we know that you have to behave within reasonable confines. So when it says that you are restricted to the seating area, but you are allowed to, it is within those reasonable confines that will allow players to go and warm up. Even though if you go by the letter of the law, then the players should not leave the seating area. So maybe we need to find a way to envelope some of these behaviors. So for me, once Saibari went to apologize, I like that. Even before it got to the point where his behavior, CAF had to call him and ask him about defending his position and what he did or explaining his behavior and all of that. He took that first step in apologizing for that. So for me, I have no issues with that ban. Then the fine on Senegal. Look, they spent $9.6 million in qualifying for the AFCON. Then they won the tournament. If you do the accounting, they literally made a profit of $400,000. So the tournament itself is not the sort of tournament that I would say offers value for money. Yes, gains have been made. We have seen significant increments as far as the prize money is concerned for participating teams. But you are also constrained by how much teams spend to get here. Beyond that, every charge comes with a prescribed punishment. And the punishments that they would arrive at will be influenced by these charges. If you are not allowed to punish teams beyond a fine of $500,000 or $600,000 for one strike, there is not a lot that you can do. So as we grow, as we talk about expanding the regulations to cover more of the things that were exhibited in this tournament, then you perhaps also need to look at the reward system, how much comes in, because that is directly tied to how much you can fine teams for stated misbehavior in the specific context that we're talking about. I think you should be
able to find teams that get them in the negative so they can go and take a loan and come and pay the fine.
No.
Why not?
No.
I mean, if you look, there are rules, laid down rules and regulations. If you can't, my view is we can't follow them. It's an association. You don't need to join.
But you see, this whole conversation is very biased in the sense that the only people who are properly and severely punished are the players and the teams. Referees don't get as much punishment. This Jean-Jacques.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example.
Jean-Jacques could simply explain himself away by saying that, well, he didn't feel the need to allow this sequence of play to conclude because he felt within his rights that he was very convinced that he had made the right decision, and that will end the matter. But you and I know that it is something that he is not supposed to be doing. So if we are going to take the high moral ground, we might as well introduce the same for every other principal actor in the value chain.
You know, you talk about referees not being punished enough. Okay, maybe not being punished enough is the right way to put it, but referees are being punished all the time for poor officiating at the AFCON. You remember when Ghana went and cheated Burkina Faso in 2013? Well, Ghana didn't cheat Burkina Faso. The referee cheated Burkina Faso. Slim Jaididi or whatever his name, Tunisian referee.
Yeah.
He was listed to officiate at the World Cup the following year in 2014 in Brazil. that singular performance in that game between Burkina Faso and Ghana, where he sent off Jonathan Petropa, gave Ghana a penalty, and we still didn't win the game. Right after that match, his name was struck off. He didn't go to the World Cup. So there was real consequence for his poor performance. And I'm sure there have been several instances where referees have been punished. And I think that my view is that, look, Senegal have been punished. I think there are differing views about the deterrent nature of the punishments, but CAF did what they had to do. And I don't know what Daniel makes of what CAF did.
I think it's a very good punishment. I think it's befitting of the crime, and I'm very happy for what CAF have done, because in future, now when I feel like the referee has cheated me, I can simply walk off. Once I have, how much did they fine the coach?
100,000.
100k. Once I have 100k, I'll simply walk off. I'll just order my players to walk off the pitch, and then we'll time it and make sure that it doesn't exceed the time that will constitute for forfeiture.
And you leave like two players on the pitch.
Thank you. Then we come back just in time to disrupt the game. And then I'll just be given a simple 5-match ban and 100k. It's as simple as that. Do you notice that? Oh, they've been cheated. Because if they feel like. Jean-Jacques went to defend his decision, and he's been cleared. And he's going to the World Cup. You mentioned the referee who cheated Burkina Faso. He didn't go to the World Cup.
Nope, he didn't. Because
you think FIFA didn't watch Jean-Jacques' performance?
They did.
They watched it, but they are taking him to the World Cup. The point is, you see, when there's contact, it is always subjective. The fact that you don't think it's a foul doesn't mean it's a foul. It's not a foul. You do. Who are you? Because you don't think it's a foul. They'll ask you a simple question. Did Hakimi and Sek, was there contact between them? Yes or no? It's a simple question. Was there contact?
Yeah, there was.
There was contact. So now, the painful thing about football is the only one whose opinion matters is the referee.
Yeah.
So it's down to his discretion. And once he feels like that was enough contact, look, they can show him 10,000 replays. He will still stand by his decision. If he shouldn't have. Yes, maybe he shouldn't have. But once he went to VR, he was right there. Who told you that if he saw the replay, he would have changed his mind? He knows what he saw, and he made a decision based on what he saw. When he went to the CAF the referee's review panel, he had to defend his decision. Didn't they show him replays of the thing? And he still defended it. And they agreed that he's cleared and he's going to the World Cup.
And his decision was final.
It's final.
And Senegal, who were complaining about his decision, is the same referee's final decision that ensured that Senegal did not forfeit the game.
Exactly.
Because he said in his report that he didn't think that the abandonment of the game constituted forfeiture. He could have ended the game.
Yeah.
In fact, there were videos circulating that he had ended the match. I don't know if you've seen it. Like that he had whistled and said the game was over. So referee's decision really is final.
And in fact, he was also asked about not giving, because as part of Morocco's protest, every Senegalese player was supposed to have taken a yellow card. All the guys who left the pitch. Yeah. He asked about it. And in the spirit of the law, because he understood the situation, that maybe because they don't agree with my decision, they've taken, he used common sense.
Right.
And all those things are part of being a top-class referee. So at the end of the day, your feelings don't matter early game. That one, there's clear evidence. It's not based on opinion. The ball did not touch his hand. That's factual.
Yes.
That's not subjective. That's factual. Offside, factual. Did he slap him? Yes. Did he not slap? He did not. Those things are factual. But when it comes to contact, that's why you see some referees who give, there's a foul in the box. You saw that there was contact. This referee will give it. This referee will not give it. It's all based on interpretation.
A commentator's description is always that's soft.
Yeah.
But they can't say it's not a penalty.
It's not a penalty.
They will say it's soft.
Is soft. I don't think it should be.
Yeah.
That's your opinion. But the one whose opinion matters says that
ref.
It's a ref, and he says it's a penalty. So we can't be taking, you see, we can't be encouraging teams to take decisions based on their feelings.
Right.
Because one day, you'll be in that situation. Now, put yourself in Morocco's shoes. Morocco too feel like, and that's why they went to lodge the protest.
And you see, Atsu says that in my next life, he said in my lifetime, I will not see another team.
You see,
in fact, Morocco would be the first to do
it.
How do you know that?
Ododu.
You think that if Morocco, hold on.
Hold on.
Actually, no, we're just, you made a very factual statement. You didn't say that you think. You said that in my lifetime, I will not see another team walk off the pitch because they feel they are being cheated. And I'm saying, if there is potential of that happening, there's more likelihood that it would come from a team that was badly hurt by another team's decision, because now they know that if they also feel like they are being cheated, just like in the Senegal case, they would easily do it, because then they have the evidence and the precedence to go and defend themselves and say, because how can the disciplinary committee sit down, look at Morocco, who did something exactly the same as what Senegal did, and then you expect that they will be punished more than Senegal? Absolutely not, because they would present the facts and say, when Senegal did it, this is what you did.
In the biggest match
you know why that can't happen?
Why can't that happen?
If you remember, I gave you an example, in fact, examples of teams.
Just state why that can't happen.
Wait. Of teams who, in the face of extreme provocation, follow through with the game, did not go off the pitch, and after that,
those are not accurate examples.
And after that, did not exact revenge by doing the injustice that they suffered.
They are not Morocco.
And those way.
And those, you see, those examples,
which is fair, but unless they have,
Morocco.
Wait, unless there is a pattern of Morocco exacting revenge for every case of injustice that they have felt, nobody can convince me that they will suddenly go in.
It's just as for Morocco, it's not even a case of revenge. They are aggressors, so they will do it in the absence of provocation.
The thing is, you see, this is because most people who were watching it, most people who are giving commentary to the game felt for Senegal. Full stop.
Yeah,
that's the truth. Because most of us who were watching had a soft spot for Senegal, so we understand why they are feeling the way they
and we had been fed a certain narrative that everybody was cheating for Morocco to win.
So they are cheating for Morocco to win. That's the narrative. But the penalty that they gave against Senegal, had it not been given, nobody would have said anything.
Right.
Nobody would have said it, because it would have felt like it would have been justice for the goal being disallowed.
Mm-hmm.
But two wrongs don't make a right. True. So even though I believe that the referee shouldn't have blown the whistle, but I also understand, because now we are doing understanding. I also understand why the referee gave the penalty, because he saw contact. I'm not in Jean-Jacques' eyes or feelings. I don't know what's going through his head. I didn't go to refereeing school with him. So in as much as his decision will pain me, unless it's a lie, it's a complete blatant lie, where there was no contact between the two. As for his interpretation of it, I can't argue against it.
You know what fascinates me? In all of this, I haven't seen anyone or even the Senegalese argue strongly and say the penalty was not a penalty.
That was my next statement.
Yeah.
So the penalty was a clean penalty.
Yeah.
And because the penalty happened 2 minutes before, after the goal was disallowed, Senegal said don't play again. Now, I've forgotten what was it Sito who asked the question last week. If the goal was disallowed in the first half,
they would not behave the same way.
That is
true. That is true.
They wouldn't have worked off.
Let's say if that penalty was given Senegal in the 15th minute,
they wouldn't have done it.
There is a good chance they wouldn't have walked off. I think in the heat of the moment, with how close that incident was
to the final time, to the full time.
That's the reason why.
So they all added it. So let me just conclude.
Right.
So my point is, look, CAF haven't done a good job with these sanctions. They are very do you know how violent conduct will get more sanctions than this? We've seen incidents
than this state term is behavior.
We've seen incidents of violent conduct where it's in their discretion. They can give extra bans. So aside the automatic 2-match ban for the red card, they add 3 games ban. It's not 5. Mm-hmm. So you are telling me that, okay, that's fine. Right now, in AFCON qualifiers, in AFCON itself, in fact, the next one will be there. When we are playing, and 50-50 ball, it doesn't even need to be penalty. 50-50 ball in the center circle. If I jump and I feel I got my head to the ball and I hear pee, and I feel like the referees will walk off.
Especially if we also feel like we should have had a penalty.
An opportunity to mess up momentum. When you see you are under pressure and the team is coming at you, walk off for 14 minutes, 59 seconds and come back before the 15th minute. leave 2 players on the pitch, disrupt momentum, and then come back. By the time you come back, you would have got your balance. Then we play football until CAF realizes that this was a very bad decision. 5-match ban and 100k ban.
What do you think would have been appropriate for Pap Thiaw?
Pap Thiaw, 10-match ban. Senegal starts with a -9 deficit in the next AFCON qualifiers.
Because there's no punishment for the national team.
Yeah.
The Teranga Lions. They didn't get any punishment.
And they probably
if you are going to start with -9 in the next AFCON, do you think anybody will want to do that? Do you think anybody will walk off when they
know Senegal at the next AFCON?
We don't care. There was no Ghana at the AFCON. Did they affect the AFCON?
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. We'll move.
That one there is true, man.
Yeah,
Senegal can be anywhere. No one cares.
Nobody cares.
Okay. Anyway, so guys, I want to know what your thoughts are. 055-1111-997. 055-1111-997. What you make of CAF's decision? I don't know, Miles. Did you want to add something to that? You're conflicted now.
I'm conflicted. I've heard both arguments, and you know what? They're both very, very strong arguments.
Indeed.
But yeah, I'm leaning a little bit more now towards Daniel was saying, like, there probably needed to be a stronger punishment to deter teams from doing this kind of thing. I just don't believe that this kind of thing would have happened in any other part of the Africa Cup of Nations other than the final. So I don't think, so for example, Nigeria felt that they were cheated somehow. I don't think, well, it obviously didn't happen then, but I don't think a team would walk off the pitch in a semi-final, in a quarter-final, whatever it may be. So this is obviously a very dramatic thing that's happened in the final, and probably because of that, you're almost trying to ruin the biggest game in African football. So probably
they already did.
Well, they did. They did. You can't run away from that. So probably the sanctions should have been a bit more.
Yeah.
You see, the reason why we didn't have walkouts previously was nobody had the balls to do so. Now Senegal have shown us that if you do it, you are simply going to get a $100,000 fine and a 5-match ban. We'll see more of this, and I'm encouraging teams to do more of this until CAF now brings a more stringent punishment for this action. So let's encourage it.
Meanwhile, Pap Thiaw was the one who said the Senegal fans were trying to raise money to pay his fine, and he said, "Please don't." Like almost saying like, "It's okay, I can pay. I have the money." Yeah. So maybe
the federation will pay. The point is, they have $10 million from the AFCON. You know what will happen?
They don't have 10 million. What the prize money
but
is?
we don't care how much you spend.
We don't care what
it's
you
not
spend.
about what you care.
It's what they have spent.
Wait. Is this stated? No, I should have a question for you. Is this stated anywhere that you must spend 9.6 million to come to the AFCON?
Fence. I'm talking about the accounting. I'm not talking about where it is stated.
I thought maybe it's profligacy. Who said what you to spend 9.6?
Again, that is an assumption that you're making.
No, you are making it as if that we should account for that. Why should we account for 9.6 million?
I'm saying that
did we send you to spend 9.6 million? What are you saying?
This is not a matter of opinion.
Yeah, no, it's a matter of opinion. It's a matter of opinion. The opinion is that you don't need to spend 9.6 million to get there. You can't say that's not an opinion.
If you say that they have just made $10 million,
which is fact, it's not fact. Have they not made $10 million?
What if the government of Senegal gave them the 9.6 and they are not supposed to account back to them? Do you know? You don't know.
It's still their money. It's still their money. Yeah, it's still their money.
But whether it is a gift,
yes,
grants, whatever it is,
yes,
it is money that they spent to get here.
I agree. All I'm saying, Atsu, I get your point. In fact, they could have spent 50 million. All I'm saying is that I don't care about that. What I care is how much they made from the AFCON. Another team spent 1.5 million and went there. Another one spent 2 million and went there. Nobody asked Senegal to spend 9.6 million. Yeah. So I will not take that into consideration in determining how much money in actual sense they got from the AFCON. That's what matters to me. But hold on. What another team spent is purely subjective.
You know why that
but the AFCON prize money is objective.
You know why that line of thought is wrong? There is a reason CAF itself pegs the punishments. That they are not done in. They don't just give a broad spectrum and say whatever figure that you want, you can slap it as a fine.
You see,
if you want to say, oh, they've made $10 million and so any fine at all is permissible, that is not consistent with the logic with which the regulatory
do you know where? Okay, but
here's put together and how it is even exercised. Because
do you know
even in punishing conducts, like in this case, they look at what the law prescribes.
Yeah, but
so you can't just
I have a question for you.
You can't just get up and say that. But they've made 10 million.
I have a question for you. Do you think that? Do you know? Do you know where the prescribed fine for the various offences are stated? Do you know in which?
Tell me.
It's in the CAF disciplinary code.
Yes.
The CAF disciplinary code does not only apply to AFCON. CAF is CAF disciplinary code. If you walk off in an under-17 match or walk off in an AFCON final, the fine, the prescribed charge is the same. It's the same misconduct. It's like red card in an AFCON, red card in under-17. Prize money is not the same.
What's the point?
But punishment is...
The point is they don't factor in how much you spend in the
yes,
competition.
that's what I'm saying.
And I'm saying that, you see, that cannot be the answer to what I'm saying. I'm saying that even the people who are punishing them, they peg the punishments.
I'm saying
they
that
don't
the
just
pegging...
get up and say
I heard
because
you.
what you've done is so reprehensible, then $5 million. Do you get the point I'm making?
No, I get it.
It is done within the confines of
but I'm saying
this very book that you have quoted.
Yes, but I'm saying it is inconsequential and irrespective. No, it's
the fact that you want to see them get punished more doesn't mean that they should start handing out sentences.
That's not what.
But that's what you are suggesting.
No, I'm saying that you are not listening. That's
your.
I'm saying that the amount that they peg the fines at did not take into account how much money you have spent.
Fair enough, but I'm also saying that they are pegged. So when you say that they've made $10 million and
you say they have not.
No, I'm saying that when you say that
you said what kind of accounting is that? They've not made 10 million.
Forget what I said. When you say that, now
why should we forget? We're arguing because
when you say that they've just made $10 million, so
your immediate response to that was what kind of accounting is that? They did not make.
Of course, it is important, but I get it if it is not important to you. But I'm saying that when you try to suggest that because of how much they have made, they should face a far severe sanction. I'm telling you that is not consistent with how these things are done.
That's not. In fact, my point was they've made 10 million, so therefore paying a fine of 100,000. It was to Daniel's point about Pap Thiaw.
You made a point about the fact that
that's how we ended up there. We ended up there because Daniel mentioned. In fact, it was Miles who started by saying that the fans had said they were raising money to pay for Pap Thiaw's fine, and Pap Thiaw said it's okay, he can pay. And then Daniel took on the Pap, and then I said, hold on, and then I said that the FA will probably even pay for him because after all, they've just made 10 million. This is how I ended up with the 10 million. That was where I ended up.
Fair enough.
You understand? Okay. Anyway, can you send me messages? Why? 055 1111997. Listen, we're going to switch up the conversation a little bit, obviously, here on the show. But let me tell you a bit more about our sponsors, Betway. It's time to get rewarded as the next big sports betting influencer with Betway. Place bets and share your codes with friends, fans, and followers. If they place bets using your code, you will earn 4% of their wager. And it doesn't matter whether it's a win or a loss. If they bet with your code, you earn 4% cash of their wager. This means the more people bet with your code, the more you will earn. Start betting, sharing, and winning with Bet Influencer, exclusive to Betway. Terms and conditions apply. It's regulated by the Gaming Commission. Of course, also bet responsibly. Let me also tell you, standing alumni and our ever supportive industry partners. The KNUST Captains of Industry Soiree and Appreciation Night comes off on Friday, January 30th, 2026. That's tonight at the prestigious Labadi Beach Hotel, Accra. The event shall also anchor the formal launch of the KNUST Alumni Endowment Fund. Come, let's celebrate our partnership in true tech style and donate generously to the Alumni Endowment Fund from Tech Junction to the world. Don't miss it. Friday, January 30th, 2026, 6 p.m. Labadi Beach Hotel, Accra. I'll arrive early for the networking cocktail. What about you? Reserve your seat by visiting knustalumni.com. Technocrats, we lead the way. Yan support. And oh, Charlie, the Joy FM big workout is tomorrow. Danny K, tomorrow. Quick. Tomorrow. Quick. 6 a.m. At Tamakloe. 6 a.m. We will gather at the Miles, how you coming? We'll gather at the University of God.
I heard 6 a.m.
6 a.m. What is wrong with 6 a.m.?
It's a Friday, right?
No. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. It's Friday night. But you see, the more reason you should be there at 6 a.m. to work out and get rid of all the calories that will come in tonight.
I strongly encourage everybody who heard about this earlier than I did today to please go at 6 a.m.
So tomorrow morning, we're all gathering at the University of Ghana Stadium at 6 a.m. for a walk around East Legon, and then we will finish with some aerobic session, music, games. It's going to be an amazing event. Everyone coming. You don't need to be a fitness enthusiast. Just show up, meet new people. No pressure, no judgment. Doesn't matter how big your stomach is. It's not a problem. The aim is to be fit, not to have six pack. Okay. So all kinds of fitness levels are welcome. If you have a stomach like Atsu, you are welcome. Okay. You are welcome. If you have a stomach like Winston Amwa, you are welcome. If you are slim like Danny K, you are welcome. Danny K.
If you are fit like Danny K.
Somebody, who was it that brought you the slimming medicine the last time?
It was Anita.
Who brought...
Anita.
Yeah. No, the company.
Yes, but through who?
That's Anita.
Yes.
You are bringing
Miles,
to somebody.
last Friday,
this guy was sitting here.
Yeah.
I was sitting here, and they brought me the slim tea.
What kind of message are they trying to send to you?
They brought him slimming tea.
Daniel is the slimmest man I think I've ever met in my life.
You want me to lose extra weight?
Extra weight.
Oh God! So come tomorrow. Let's share ourselves some. The Joy FM Big Workout 2026 is proudly sponsored by Ready Vitamin C. It boosts your immune system. Judah, Ghana's #1 service is up back with services we breathe. The Game Energy Drink, feel the energy, and use your premier fresh water. Refresh your life. You're listening to Game Plan on 99.7. Joy FM is also on Hitz 103.9 FM.
Capitano, bandiera, campioni d'Italia e campioni del mondo, uno scudetto, 2 supercoppe, 2 Coppe Italia, scarpa d'oro e golden foot, è semplicemente uno di noi, 307 gol, 786 presenze, 567 da capitano. 10 Francesco figlio di Roma, capitano, bandiera, campione d'Italia e campione del mondo, uno scudetto, 2 supercoppe, 2 Coppe Italia, scarpa d'oro e golden foot, è semplicemente uno di noi, 307 gol, 786 presenze, 567 da capitano. Numero 10 Francesco.
All right, this is Game Plan 99.7 Joy FM. I've got some of your messages here on the CAF decision, obviously. This one says, I think... okay, hold on. This is a message from Thompson Mauli in East Legon. It says, I think CAF did well, but the punishment to Senegal especially should have been a bit tougher. Okay. And this one says... Morocco are the first country to set the precedent of walking off the pitch in a match when their club Wydad Athletic walked off the field in the 2019 final of the CAF Champions League after the referee refused to review the VAR for a disallowed goal against Esperance of Tunisia. In that game, CAF did not exact any fine to Wydad except that Esperance were awarded the trophy. Moreover, the regulations, Senegal did not walk off the game, but rather... protested the referee's decision, which is allowed in the game. It's the excess of the action that has been punished as a misconduct. You can check Articles 64, 82, and 84 of the CAF AFCON regulations. Seydu, dear brother, coming through with that message as well. This one says, Nito Jotama says, thank God for another week. Oh, no, that's not the message. This is the message. Sanctions in order will bring more decency to the African Games. Well done, CAF. FIFA refereeing should improve Africa arise. More messages welcome 055 1111997. I'll read a couple more later, but here's something that is of massive interest.
At an acceptable level, let's say, and so that's what we did. As for Thomas, I think Thomas, we know at Arsenal, well, there's a world of difference. It's very difficult to play in today's football at this pace. So, well, I think it's been months and it's enough. Tough time for this player to show us what he was or what he's showing.
So that's Marcelino, the Villarreal coach, speaking about Thomas Partey's performance in that Champions League midweek game. Obviously, Thomas only lasted the first 4 to 5 minutes, and then he was yanked in that 3-0 defeat to Bayer Leverkusen. Villarreal obviously didn't qualify to the round of 16, neither did they qualify to the playoffs of the round of 16. So Thomas has been having a really tough time since going to Villarreal. And, you know, he's either not starting games, or when he started, he's not played well, or he's been injured as well, or he's been on the bench and never come on. So it's been very, very difficult for him since he joined Villarreal. I think at the beginning it was going well, and then things just fell apart, I believe, after the international break of October. Since then he's only played 90 minutes for them since October, so it's not gone according to plan for Thomas. Miles, I mean, you live in London, so obviously you would have interacted a lot with several Arsenal fans who probably weren't pleased with the fact that Arteta or Arsenal let him go. What's going on with Thomas here? Like, do you have an idea? They think in hindsight that Arsenal perhaps knew exactly that this was coming, or it's just a wrong environment?
Yeah, possibly Arteta understanding that he, is making that push for a Premier League title, and thought that maybe Thomas was one of the players who could move on. Not the fact that, Thomas is feeling the pace of the game or anything like that, as, he's been quite a standout, or was quite a standout player for Arsenal, even when he wasn't expected to be. So I think, Thomas moving on wasn't an issue really. I think it was just, look, we're making a push for the title. We feel that we could probably get a younger model of you or something like that in the midfield, as they've made many signings since. I'm just really surprised by the Villarreal manager just calling Thomas Partey out.
Right,
like this.
That doesn't happen often.
Being our talisman as he is, I think he probably hasn't realised the ripple effect this will have for Ghanaians specifically. No one else will care in Europe, whatever. But in terms of a nation who didn't make it to the Africa Cup of Nations, who are sorely upset about that, now planning and looking ahead towards the World Cup, your manager is now coming out and saying this about you. I just think is the craziest part of it all, and I just don't understand why he felt the need to pick on Thomas. I'm sure the question was asked to him about why he brought Thomas off as early as he did. I just don't see how it even helps his team to, go forward with their league campaign as they're now out of the Champions League. I'm just completely shocked by the whole thing, and I just don't understand who is supposed to benefit from those comments.
I mean, that basically just amounts to throwing a player under the bus. So managers don't do that often. Actually, what should he do now? I mean, clearly, look, this has the potential to damage a relationship between manager and player.
Partey has two problems. One of them is named Pap Gay, the kid who scored the AFCON final winner. Pap Gay has started 14 games in La Liga this season. The only games he did not play at all were when he left for the AFCON. In the Champions League, he's played 7 games for Villarreal.
Out of the 8.
And he has that position under lock and key. Problem number 2 is a certain 36-year-old Dani Parejo. A few years ago, he was about the best player in La Liga outside of Real Madrid and Barcelona. And for about 2 years now, he's been rolling back the years for Villarreal. He has played 17 games in La Liga this season alone, and he's 36. He's the team's best player. He's the team's most influential player. In La Liga alone, I think he's created in all competitions, he's created about 23 chances for them. Wow. He can play deep. He can ping the ball. I mean, those who saw his performance against Real Madrid last weekend would remember and will be able to see the sort of player he still is. Mm-hmm. So when you have two high performers you are competing with, it makes every other thing you do look not good enough. Mm-hmm. Because when Partey has played, he's played sparingly, but when he's played, he doesn't look like the game is too fast for him. It's just that Pape Gueye and Dani Parejo are operating at a whole different level. That's just the problem. Maybe Marcelino exaggerated when he said he looks like he's gone past the sell-by dates. Maybe he exaggerated. Maybe also because he sees him train, it looks more profound to him. So when he is giving commentary on it, he remembers every single thing that Partey does wrong in training. He remembers in the passing sequence in the game states that Partey plays. He remembers every other thing that Partey does wrong. And when he's not playing, what Pape Gueye does right. The influence that Dani Parejo brings to the team. Those things can make you look worse than you are. I have no doubt in my mind that whether Partey is playing at Villarreal or not, he's going to the World Cup. But for Partey's own sake and for the sake of the team, he needs minutes. He needs game time. There are, about less than 48 hours, roughly 36 hours before the transfer window slams shut. If it is possible, if you could find because I'm sure, even if Marcelino had not told him directly that you are not going to be part of my plans going forward, by not picking him and by the way he treats him in training, Partey will pick up the cues that I am third or fourth in the pecking order. And then based on that, what he does with that information is entirely up to him. I'd be very surprised if, in fact, I've been surprised to this point that he is deciding to stay and not look for a way out of, because they didn't start dropping him today.
No.
And unfortunately for him, by the time he got around to full training, Pape Gueye had hit peak form. Dani Parejo was influencing games, and they are having possibly Villarreal's best season in a mighty well. He will not disturb that chemistry, for Thomas Partey, because as for the Champions League, their chapter is over. They have the chance, they are third in La Liga. They have the chance to get back, until that defeats to Real Madrid.
So there's Champions League football coming.
There is a chance for them to qualify for Champions League again. So I can understand why Marcelino doesn't want to disturb the team chemistry by introducing Partey, but he probably should not have said the things.
Yeah, and also speaking about the cues that you're talking about, and he had signed a year's contract with an option for a second year. Yeah. Even before he was halfway into that first year contract, it emerged that there was not going to be that option for the second year was not going to be taken. So it was always obvious from the start that they were looking beyond him. Then obviously, Atsu says he doesn't, whether Partey plays or not until the end of the season, he doesn't see how it would affect his chances of going to the World Cup. I think I largely agree with him. Partey is too important for the Black Stars. If he's fit, he goes. But still, there are reasons to be concerned at the current development.
Oh, I'm not concerned because of the person who is saying it.
You don't rate Marcelino?
No, you see, Marcelino needs to understand that some of us, based on where our boys are, we watch.
Right.
We've been watching Villarreal. In the last 9 matches, they've lost 7.
Yeah.
And Partey has been a peripheral figure.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Partey's fault that they've lost 7 out of the last 9.
Certainly not.
So if I were Marcelino, I would say, Partey has lost touch with the pace of the game. And I myself have also lost touch with the pace of the game, because I may not be cut out for this job. The only reason why Villarreal are where they are is because of their early season form. Yeah. They've been poor. There were 36 teams that went into the Champions League. Villarreal finished in 35th position, And they only finished above, what's the team's name? Kaira Almaty. Yes.
Ridiculous.
Kaira Almaty, who are making their debut in the competition. Kaira Almighty. Because, fortunately for Villarreal, Kaira Almighty shipped in more goals than they did. As at that, look, Villarreal top 4 in La Liga. They didn't win a single game in the Champions League. Not one.
Imagine that.
We are watching Villa. We watch who? We watch. Now for Partey, you see, the reason why I'm not concerned is because we watch Villarreal. The things that the Pajero guy, no. What the Pajero guy is doing, there are things we know Partey can do simply. The thing is, Pajero is untouchable. Yeah.
The guy's name is Danny Parejo. Why are you calling him Pajero?
What is Parejo? What's Parejo?
That's his name.
Is there R there?
Yes.
Yeah, there is.
There's no R.
Danny Parejo.
It's
P-A-R-E-J-O, right?
What's wrong with you?
There's no R.
P-A-R.
But even in your one, you put an R. You said Pajero, right?
Yeah, Pajero.
Yeah, you put an R later.
It sounds nicer as Pajero. I've said it. That guy, no, he's untouchable.
Yeah.
You see, he's a veteran of the club, top guy. So players like that, and Partey is not necessarily competing with Papgay because Papgay is a different profile. Papgay is more box to box. So when they want a bit more control, few times this season you see Partey playing with Parejo.
I don't understand though. Parejo is 36. Partey is 32. He's 4 years younger. You can't tell me that Partey is the one who has lost his legs and a 36-year-old man.
But he's balling. That's the thing.
Yeah, but why? Matthew, but you mentioned the fact that Marcelino wanted younger, the younger players were balling, more energetic. Then Thomas is 4 years younger than Danny Parejo.
When they say somebody has mileage in their legs, you get it?
Yes.
Mileage.
Yes.
Partey has been through a lot.
True.
Yes.
A lot of running, a lot of injuries.
Partey has been through a lot. So what Partey has gone through from his calves, in fact, ankles to calves to thighs over the past 10, 15 years. Parejo,
We don't know that. Parejo, we don't know that.
Oh, I said Parejo, since he was, I know him. Parejo, grass pitches, his whole life, grass pitches.
That's what you mean.
Partey has been playing on stones and rocks and glass.
Okay.
So you understand.
The knees.
Yeah, there's a reason why our players, if you look at Africa, there's a reason why our players don't play till latter years.
Unless you are El Capitano.
Who is El Capitano?
Oh, Captain General.
Captain General, where did he go? He left Ghana earlier, went to grass pitches. So it has helped him. If Captain General played a chunk of his life here, back by now. So I'm saying that it's understandable. I'm not concerned at all. And you see, all the times Partey has come this year, that Partey has come to Ghana, he has done the job. It is Marcelino and Ouassa. Marcelino, he's the problem. He's the problem. And that journalist who went to ask the question, that one, we have to look for that journalist who went to ask Marcelino a question. Because since when did you start questioning why Partey was taken off? What do you mean, why was Partey? He should have asked why Papgay didn't start the game. That's the question you should ask. Why Papgay didn't start it? Not why was Partey taken off.
Papgay came on very late on in the game. He's one of your best players. Like, I guess maybe he had given up long before.
I mean, there was nothing to play for.
Nothing at all.
There was nothing to play for.
So against Leverkusen. Okay, so you, Danny K, you think that Partey should stay?
Oh, stay at Villarreal. No, after World Cup we are going to Saudi.
Not after. Now there's still a chance.
6 months.
No. You see, we need him. As for the playing, he'll play 45, 35. We just need him to be fit ahead of the World Cup. We don't need. Look.
So that
are you telling me that you as a Ghanaian, you want Partey to play 90 minutes at Villarreal? No, we don't want that.
So you are saying that this is actually good for Ghana?
It was very good for Ghana. Why have you not seen him this year? Very fit and ready.
Wow. Okay. Guys, I want to hear from you on the Thomas Partey situation. But speaking of the Champions League, we know the top 8 teams, obviously, that have qualified automatically to the Champions League round of 16, and the ones that will have to go to the playoffs. So if you hear the name of your team, show by hands, okay? If your team is in the list, it means your team is a top football club.
Go on and mention your list. What is this?
Arsenal Football Club. Tottenham, top. Barcelona, top. Chelsea, top. World champions. Sporting. Manchester City. That's the top 8. The rest of them have to go through the playoffs, including the record winners Real Madrid, last year's finalists Inter, last year's winners PSG. Then there's Newcastle, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Atalanta, Leverkusen, Dortmund, Olympiacos, Club Brugge, Galatasaray, Monaco, Karabakh, Bodo Glimt, and Jose Mourinho's Benfica. Listen, guys, there are 5 teams from England, Miles, 5 teams from your country that have made it to the Champions League round of 16 automatically. How much are you willing to bet that one of them can go all the way to the final?
Even though I support a club that failed to make either competition, either the Champions League or the Europa League.
Which club do you support?
Which is my beloved...
They failed to. Decided not to.
Decided. My beloved Manchester United.
Don't let Daniel put words in your mouth. He failed.
They didn't. Why are you also putting words in?
Yeah.
No, he said failed. And Daniel said decided.
Decided. And I agree with his...
What's your issue?
I
He agrees with me.
I even said it wrong. I mispronounced that word. Anyway.
Okay.
You know what? In the Champions League, regardless of whether my team are there or not, I always look for another English team to get as far as possible. Okay. There are a couple of teams in there that I would prefer not to win the Champions League, but I always enjoy when the English teams go far. I think it helps with the seeding in the Premier League in terms of having an extra space to make the Champions League. I think this year we're allowed 5 spaces, I believe. So we'll see how it goes. This time, though, I think there's a very high chance that an English team can win the Champions League and very much so get to the final. We may even see 2 English teams in the final. You never know. I think that's just testament to the strength of not necessarily how the Premier League has been this season, but how English teams are performing in the Champions League. So looking forward to seeing what happens. But, there are other European teams in there. Like, I'm not looking anywhere past Barcelona. I think for me, they are just head and shoulders above, and I think they'll win the whole thing. Yeah. So we'll see. But hey, English teams, I think they'll do well.
Okay, we'll talk about Arsenal briefly because
Why is Sito?
Why? Because Djokovic is winning.
Who is Sinner? Who is Yannick Sinner?
Is the game? Is it over?
It's over. Who is Sinner?
You're telling me that Djoko just beat Yannick Sinner?
A 38-year-old Novak Djokovic has just beaten Sinner. Who is Sinner? Where is Sito?
Wow.
Sito knew. He could smell it. That's why he didn't come.
Wow.
Djokovic has beaten Sinner.
Wow.
In 5 sets. A 38-year-old man.
No, that's actually ridiculously
has beaten Yannick Sinner in 5 sets.
Wow.
Who is Sinner?
Wow.
And doing that in a week like this one, feels special. In
a week where a journalist told him that he was chasing Yannick Sinner,
they are not serious,
and Alcaraz. Wow. That is impressive. That is really impressive. I mean, I love Sinner, but man,
that person was
38 years old.
It's not even about the age. After everything that he has done, you don't go and say that he's rather chasing the kids who are now trying to go after his legacy.
Wow. You know what, DK? We'll talk about Djokovic. You want to calm down. Anyway, the pairings for the runner system playoffs were done this morning. Yeah. Real Madrid will take on Benfica again. Once more. Yeah.
Wow.
Once more. In a 2-legged knockout game. That's next month. Paris Saint-Germain have been drawn against, wait for it, Monaco.
Okay.
It's a French derby. That should be exciting as well. Yeah,
that'll be big.
Unfortunately, Salisu has an ACL, so he will not be playing for Monaco. There's also Newcastle against Karabakh.
Okay.
Juventus got Galatasaray, so Osimhen will be coming to England.
Yes.
Would be coming to Italy, going back to Italy, sorry. Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone, he has got Club Brugge.
Okay.
As well. So those are the some of the pairings. And I think, let me see, there's another one here. There's 2 more here. There is Atalanta up against Borussia Dortmund as well. Sure. And there's Bayer Leverkusen up against Olympiacos. Very interesting pairings. But Miles,
Inter Bodo Glimt.
And then Inter Bodo Glimt. Okay. It's right there.
That's a big one. Bodo Glimt.
Bodo Glimt.
Yeah.
This is it's just like last season. PSG drew another French team in the playoffs.
Brest.
They did.
The one was 10-0.
Yeah.
Jose rolled back the years. Miles, did you catch that?
Oh yes. Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Everything about that was great. Jose, I mean, if Manchester United weren't now winning games against the top 1 and top 2 in the Premier League, I'd say we need to look at Jose and bring him home. But he's currently doing his thing with Benfica, and that game against Real Madrid, it was special. Yeah. So special.
By match day 4, they had 0 points. Benfica.
Yes. Wow.
Match day 4, they had 0 points. And then they went on a run that included some big victories,
yes.
you know. And when Jose was asked at the time if it was still possible for them to qualify, he said yes, absolutely. And Jose just seems like the kind of manager that likes to be the villain against his old club, Real Madrid. Because that victory denied Real Madrid automatic qualification. Now they have to do it all over again. And Jose, in knockout football, you don't want to be... And Real Madrid aren't great at the moment as well. So there's some massive issues there. There's this story that I really want us to talk about as well. Since I mentioned Atalanta and Borussia Dortmund. Danike, Kamaldeen Sulemana, the reports that he could be making a move in the next 48 hours. As Atsu mentioned, we only have very few hours left till the closure of the transfer window. He's not had a great start to life at Atalanta. I think he did have a good start, maybe like the first 4 matches, and then things just sort of dried out. And since Lukman came in, he's found playing time hard to come by. This is a player that went for big money, John Jurek, who signed him for Southampton as well, and he got fired, and now there's no playing time for Kamaldeen Sulemana. He's having a really tough time. He didn't have a great time at Southampton either. Injuries didn't help the situation as well, and it just seems like he's having a career of what ifs, because after just he went in September, 4 or 5 months, there are rumors that he's already on his way out, at least on loan, and now Roma and Napoli are the clubs that are seemingly in position to sign him. I saw a report earlier today that Roma have taken a lead on that. That could be, he could be going to join the Gasperini over there. What do you make of the Kamaldeen situation? Because, I mean, I'm very disturbed about this.
Yeah, because he's not getting any younger.
And he's young.
The guy is a weapon. The guy is a talent. And if you remember, a couple of years ago when Faisal was here, we had a conversation about Kamaldeen. At that time, he was linked to Southampton. And Faisal and I were in agreement that he shouldn't go. He had a good thing going at Rennes. He hadn't been there for too long. He needed stability. And then he rushed to Southampton, didn't work out. He's gone to Atalanta, didn't work out. And now another team is looking for him. Look, he's not made the best of moves. And sometimes the moves don't really make sense. The Atalanta move, yes, because Juric is the one who brought him in. But, you see, it's not really advisable to make moves because of coaches. Coaches who are not guaranteed to be there for a long time. For example, when Klopp was at Liverpool and he calls you, know that this guy, even if something bad happens in the next season, he's not going to get sacked, so you can go because of him. But Juric no wasa.
We know everybody sharp.
Oh, but I said it when he was going to Atalanta. See, Google his name right now. Go to Transfer Market and go and Google his name. Look at his record. That guy, he's not good. Juric, he's not a good coach. But we saw him at Southampton. Or have you forgotten? He was just dashing points. Everybody who was going to face Southampton was happy because they were going to collect points. So there was a high chance that it will not go well at Atalanta and they will sack him. And they sacked him, and now Kamaldeen is not getting playing time. But look, he has to move. Where it has reached, he has to move because
that position also in the Black Stars is very competitive.
No, he has to go to the World Cup. Whether he moves or he doesn't move, I'll take him to the World Cup because he's a weapon. But the thing is,
a weapon can misfire.
Misfired a lot. He can be a weapon fashioned for or against us, depending on. But he's a weapon. But I hope that he'll be a weapon for us. But the thing is, where it has reached, he has to move. And he needs a coach who has a history of developing, a history of picking players and bringing the best out of them. And Roma, who have gas, is probably the guy that he should go to.
So he should choose Gasperini over Conte.
He should go to Conte.
They're also interested. Napoli are
No,
interested.
Conte doesn't have time for anybody.
Now is he going to be there?
Conte, yeah, and Conte will probably leave at the end of the season. Conte doesn't have time for anybody. Conte picks, if it's not working, he throws you away. You need somebody who has time, who is going to sit with you, develop you. And Gasperini's record with players, look at Atalanta. Picked Ademola Lookman. He was just like Amaldin. He went there. Now when he's walking his shoulders, he can't even, he's a star boy because
The headband.
Thank you. So many players. Elesic, Scamacca, plenty. Countless number of players. So I think he should go to Roma. And I think there's an option to buy. It's a loan and an option to buy. That's what Atalanta are offering. Loan and option to buy. If he goes, look, the guy is in terms of talent, he has everything. He's quick, he can dribble, he's direct, and his profile of player is rare in modern day football. Look at the wingers we have now. 2 touches forward, if it doesn't work, sideways pass. Saka dems. But he's very direct. He's like Doku. A few months ago, people were likening the Kamal into Doku. Pep took him to preseason. We took him for lunch 3 times. I was there. I know what I'm talking about.
The food is working.
3 times. Spoke to him. He came to Ghana, went to Kumasi,
went
passport. Back, and then all of a sudden, Doku is now untouchable. Players like that, they just need time. Like a manager who has time for them. Because it's easy to unlock. And if the day Kamaldeen is unlocked, you watch.
I said, you see, this is the problem though, because we've been waiting for him to be unlocked for a mighty long time, and it's
no, but he's not been making the right moves. He just needs to make the right move.
And for you, there's just one right move left in this situation.
Or if Gasperini touches him and doesn't, I'll wash my hands off him.
Miles?
There's also only one right move that he has to get right because the World Cup is around the corner. You have to solidify your place in this team, which won't be an easy thing to do. So would I advise him to move? I'm not so sure. He himself will know whether, he's making the best move for his career, but he better make sure he gets it right because there's a massive tournament coming and you can't wait another 4 years to now try and get yourself in this team when the moment is here, the moment is now. We've already missed out on an AFCON that you all should have been playing in, now the World Cup. So I really hope the move he makes is the best move because it will be the best move for us all as Ghanaians, you know what I mean? So this move has to work. The manager has to be the right manager for him, and I pray he makes the right decision.
Atsu?
Kamaldeen, of his generation, he is possibly the most blessed in terms of opportunities. Because he's 23 now. But it feels as if he's been around forever. For the past 6 years, he's been playing in the major leagues in Europe. Spent 3 years in France. Before that, he did 2 years in Denmark with Nordsjælland. So he's played in the French Ligue 1 for 3 years. Then he did a year in the Premier League. Then 2 in the Championship. Then now 6 months in Italy. So as far as exposure in the big leagues are concerned, he has been there. He has had those opportunities. In terms of the Black Stars, Kamaldeen is into his 6th year as a Black Star player. So he's no longer young. He's young in age, but in terms of exposure and experience, he has enough so that by now, we should be seeing that experience reflect in significant improvement in the key aspects of his game. Unfortunately, Kamaldeen has played under different coaches, both at club level and national team, and nowhere has he been able to put together a consistent run of form for, say, 18 months where he's producing. And that, for me, is worrying. At least for those who don't watch him at his club, pay attention to the Kamaldeen that you see in the Black Stars. Of the players who can complain about lack of service and inability to settle into the team or teammates not playing for you, he's not one of them. Rather, he has frustrated us. The Mali game, a lot of people remember, is an example. He has worked under, I think, about 7 Black Stars coaches also. CK Akuno, Otuado, and Otuado 2.0, Chris Hutton.
No, it started with Milo.
Milo.
Yeah.
Right. No, he made his debut in 2020.
No, he made his debut. Milo gave him his debut. The Cape Coast game.
Right.
Ghana, Zimbabwe.
So not CK. So
He was explosive that day.
Yeah, he balled out.
different coaches, it is the same thing with Kamaldeen Sulemana. He looks like a gun with an empty chamber. So yeah, when you see him and you look at his skill sets, Charlie, the guy is explosive. But the end products, no. That's it. Look, Kamaldeen's saving grace as we speak is the fact that he is still very young. And so he will have opportunities. And the hope is that one of these days he makes the right move and he finds a manager who is able to squeeze water out of stone. Because, Charlie, if I watch Kamaldeen Sulemana now, nobody can convince me that there has been a significant improvement in his game from the player that we first saw in Cape Coast. The problem still remains end products and decision making. It has taken him 5 years. At some point, someone needs to have a conversation with him that maybe you have not been lucky with coaches and the changes or the instability and all of that. But look at your peers. In Abdul Fattah Isaku's first few years in Europe, he was changing coaches every other 6 months. In fact, even at club level, his final year in Ghana, 6 months at Steadfast, 6 months at Dreams FC, different coaches. In the national teams, different coach at under 17, different coach at under 20, played in the same year. Then in the Black Stars, different coaches from Milo, who gave him his debut at that AFCON, through to Otuado as we speak now. But you are beginning to see, and that's a player who has had 2 serious knee injuries, 1 ACL. We are beginning to see consistency from him. And so I don't know what is going to change. It could be a new manager. It could be a mentality. I haven't seen enough to say that he has an attitude issue, so it will be unfair to get into that realm. But something has to give, because as young as he is, these opportunities he's getting may not be around forever. Mm-hmm. And I hope that whatever happens now, the resolution results in him getting game time and taking those opportunities when they come.
Interesting. All right. So all the best to Kamaldeen Sulemana. We'll see what decision he makes. But crucially, it's an important decision ahead of the World Cup, obviously, this summer, where Ghana gets to play against England. Miles, what was the reaction from the English fans like after the draw? I'm sure there is so much familiarity between the two countries, no?
Sorry. Repeat. Sorry.
Yeah, I was talking about the World Cup draw.
The draw.
England
and Ghana.
Yeah.
It's gone crazy. What? Yeah. I was watching the draw and presenting a show live, and I was very happy for it to happen, and I've been asked since who I'll be supporting, but for me it's Ghana all the way. Like, England is cool, but like
it's not even a question. This is
not at all.
This is not a question.
I'm even surprised and a little bit annoyed that people ask me where my loyalties lie. Me,
like what is wrong with you?
It's terrible. I don't know why you're asking me these questions. As if England isn't cold right now.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
But that will be huge. That will be big. So many Ghanaians live in England, and I think some will be torn, but the majority of people will be supporting Ghana. Yeah. I can't wait for that game to happen. Just give me a draw. Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody goes home happy.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll tell you what. The English fans can fly as many people as they want to Boston, but trust me, the Ghanaian fan base in Boston,
they will turn up.
They will be there.
Ghanaians already there, or Ghanaians
Ghanaians already there.
There's a big community.
Huge Ghanaian.
Oh, you see, I didn't know
community.
This.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to be there in numbers.
Oh my God, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge, especially not just in the city of Boston alone, like in the whole state of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
There's a huge Ghanaian fan base.
Wow.
There's a place called Worcester, and that place basically is like Kumasi Annex. It's huge. You know, Alex and Kwa there. They will bring the fans. Yeah. They will be there at the stadium. They will be there. The only thing we need is to make the ticket affordable, so we can all buy. If the English are buying 50,000, we also buy 50,000. Yeah. Bank for bank.
It's a lot easier for the English to get there and be there as it will be for us, and they're going to be there. You know, the English.
They will be.
They support.
They're always
they support
there.
Their country. You know.
Yeah.
They'll be there.
But I'm saying that even if we don't go from here,
Yeah.
we won't lack support over there.
No.
Oh yeah, we won't lack support. We even have journalists there
Yeah.
who can report if we don't go.
One of them sent you the text.
Listen, I'm gonna take some calls. Then I'll ask Miles about his favorite team. Should we give Carrick the job on a permanent basis? 030-221-6541 030-221-6541 and 055-111-1997. You can call us now. Contribute to the conversation. 030-221-6541 and then 055-111-1997. From the AFCON conversation all the way to the Thomas Partey, Kamaldeen, the Champions League conversation. I've got a message. I've got a very interesting message here from our very good friend and brother, Sami Bartels. He says, "Why was there no fine for Brahim Diaz? He brought football into disrepute." That's a good one.
Yeah. How many people said he missed?
They say he missed on purpose, right?
Wow.
That's a good one. Anyway, so we'll see. In fact, I've got so many more messages. Let me see if I can go to them. Okay, I think I've been asked to go to the phone line now. Hi. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Emmanuel calling from Community 11.
Emmanuel from Community 1?
Yeah, Community 11.
Oh, Community 11. All right, go. Yes, Emmanuel, go ahead.
I want to talk about Kamaldeen's move.
Okay.
Ever since I know this guy, he knows how to play the ball. He likes experience more. Anytime when he get the ball and get forward, see nothing, then product zero. So as he said, if that really gets him, I know he'll be more developed. Because I've seen a lot from what he has done to so many players, especially Lookman. When he moved from Everton to that place, everybody saw what he has done to the guy. So if that really gets him, it's going to help our mother nation Ghana to go to the World Cup. Alongside with Temeyo and Kudus and all those stuff, it's going to help Ghana. So that's what I think Kamaldeen should do it for us. For the midfielder, particularly, we have so many midfielders. And the wingers is more important. Now modern day football is all about wings. So
we have so many midfielders, but we don't have so many wingers.
Yes, of course.
Okay, interesting. Thank you, Emmanuel from Community 11. You can also join us 030-221-6541 and 055-111-1997. That's the WhatsApp number. Let me see. I've got okay, so somebody's corroborating what I said about the huge community. He's texting all the way from Boston. So you see, so so he says
they made themselves known.
Yeah. He says yes, huge Ghanaian community here trying to reach out. Okay, all right, okay, and he's giving his number. Okay, I'll call you then. I'll call you after the show. All right, let's go back to the phone line. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hey,
Habibi, who is this?
Fentuo.
Yes.
Yeah, this way, calling from Tema.
Who?
This way, calling from Tema.
Roy.
Yeah.
Habibi. Oh, Charlie, go on, Roy. Let's hear from you.
How is Danike doing?
Yeah,
Danike.
Yo.
Right, you talk to Don Trump.
You know what?
You talk to Don Trump.
I talk to who?
Don Trump.
Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, we dey come.
Charlie, tell the guy he should let us enter his country. We beg him.
Oh, I get lunch plus tomorrow. I go tell him.
So you really believe that Danike has a direct line to Donald Trump?
Oh yes, of course.
You don't respect. See, put some respect on Danike's name. See, the connection that guy get, he could blow your mind.
Wow.
He could blow your mind.
He go shock you.
Okay.
It be like this way we don't respect her.
Right. If you praise Danike one more time, I'll take you off the line. Can we talk football?
Calm down.
I am calm. Go ahead.
Kamaldeen is not a serious player.
Oh wow.
Oh, not serious about see, I watched Kamaldeen at West. He and Doku. And the way Kamaldeen entered the French league with Thomas, and he was dribbling more than goal.
See, I watched a game between Rennes and Paris. The good leader was balling. See, Kamadi should be in how they call it, the good position by now. Play for Man City. See, this guy is a talent. See, he can play more than Doku. See, this guy get a talent past Doku. But he's not a serious player.
Okay.
I'm not serious.
Gasparini will make him serious, so don't worry.
He's not serious. This guy, the talent that this guy, I don't know whether he doesn't know the talent he possesses. He doesn't know.
Habibi Roy.
Yeah.
Okay, Habibi. We thank you very much. Thank you, Roy. Thank you very much, yeah, Roy, with his contribution. Ni Onoyarifa says, why? He's come out doing a padlock. He needs to find a way to unlock himself.
That's what he's trying to do with this move, right?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I think we have time for one more call, I believe. 0302 216-541 and 055-111-1997. Listen, there's Premier League action this weekend. Ghana Premier League action as well, and it's going quite well for Mediama Sporting Club. Atsu, isn't it? They Tanko is working wonders.
Yeah, he is. It's rare to see a Ghanaian team this consistent. They are unbeaten in 17 Premier League games.
Wow.
The last time they lost a game was in, I think, September, the final week of September. And they have got an 8 points lead at the top of the league. So,
wow.
Yeah, they should see that out.
Okay. So, that's that. Let me go through the fixtures for the rest of the games in the Ghana Premier League this weekend. Very important for you to know. Go to a stadium near you to catch some of the...
Mediama's game is today, at Abrankes in Nations FC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That
and
one.
Kotoko are playing tomorrow.
Yeah, that one is today. Then there's Saturday. There are 2 games on Saturday. Heart of Lions against Kotoko. And then there's Vision against Dreams FC. And obviously on Sunday, that's when the majority of the games will happen. Just go through those fixtures very shortly. So on Sunday, you've got 6 games. Gianna against Samatex. Bibiani Gold Stars against Red All Blacks. Hearts of Hope are home to Bisham United. Holy Stars are up against Brecum Chelsea. Karela United take on Hoho United. Young Apostles are up against 11 Wonders. Miles, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you join us here on the show. My quick question to you, what are we doing with Carrick? Are we giving him the paper, put whatever number he Man United are back.
You see, I don't know what team Fentuo supports, but he's trying to do some sneaky things here, as if we've not been through pain. He's a Chelsea. I can smell the Chelsea on you. Don't worry, I can smell the Chelsea coming from over there.
Put the contract in front of him. Let him put whatever number he wants on it. Man United are back.
This is what fans of rival clubs do. They put pressure on us to act in certain ways, when meanwhile we're taking things game by game. As you can see, we've decided to remove ourselves from every other competition that we possibly can. We're not in the FA Cup, we're not in the Carabao Cup, nothing. One game at a time. Carrick is here to show the league what we can do with the players that we've got, and so far he's shown that we can beat the team in second place, Manchester City, and we can beat Arsenal. So look, I think what I would love to see Man United do is just see out the rest of the season, see how it goes. The thing we have to fight for, as everyone tells us we have nothing to fight for, it's a Champions League place, right? There are 5 places, we are in 4th. So I really want to see us make a concerted effort, because just the other day when Ruben Amorim was in charge, we weren't very close. So now, beating the two best teams in England, as the table shows, we're now in 4th. So I just want to see Manchester United end up in a Champions League place, and then we go from there. We move, and then who knows? Maybe papers will be signed. But because
then Man United would be back.
Oh, I hope so. I've said it too many times. I've said it like 5 different times with different managers. So I need to. This time I'm waiting.
Miles, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, yes.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much
on the show. You're here for a couple more days, yeah?
Oh yeah, I'm here for another week. So.
Oh, another week. Come by my Monday night show.
Please, I'd love to.
Yeah,
I'd love to.
Come by Sport Zone.
Yes.
That's that's at 9 p.m. So we'll see
Great.
there.
Yeah, definitely.
Danny, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So
Thank you very much. Thank you very
See the way he's taking like
as if
can you imagine? Atsu, thanks for coming as well. Up next is the BBC World Service, and after that, Lexus Beer, of course, will drive you home. This has been Game Plan. My name is Fentuo Tahiru. Fentuo Show brought to you by Betway and Western Union. We'll see you again next Friday. Until then, do take care.